Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today. Tune in weekdays to the Bay Area Mental Health Hour on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. You'll find us covering issues surrounding your everyday coping skills and your mental health and wellness. And remember, your mental health matters as much as your physical health.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder of Taylor J Collection. We are a women's contemporary clothing brand located right here in Oakland, California. The journey of a woman comes with many changes, and that's why we are very intentional about all of our designs and collections. We make sure to provide elevated comfort, sustainability, versatility, and of course, style. If you're in the Bay Area, come by, say hi, and take some comfy pieces home to add to your closet. Shop with us online at taylorjcollection.com.
Well, hello there, everyone. Alicia Mayo, CEO and founder of Clarity Media. I decided to go live with you because there's some news going on. San Francisco's always making news. I will admit to that, good and bad, but mostly good, in my opinion, because that's what I see. That's just my point of view. And my point of view is only one point of view. Okay. And I hope that you can appreciate my point of view because Clarity Media is all about celebrating Black San Francisco. Yes, celebrating who I am. I am a Black San Franciscan. I was born and raised in San Francisco, and that is what I celebrate because I know a little something about being Black in San Francisco. I was born there in 1965. My family migrated there from Jackson, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and Arkansas, and Alabama, and Virginia, and other places. And we settled and planted roots in San Francisco. My great uncle, Uncle Nicholas Alexander, helped build the Bay Bridge. My grandfather, Harrison Williams, helped to build the Transbay Tube that BART runs through underwater between Oakland and San Francisco. Go figure. So, yeah, my roots are deep in San Francisco, and I am proud, absolutely proud of my city today, and proud of my what my city has done um, in the past as far as Black folks are concerned. We have weathered many storms. Yes, lots of fog. Okay, and now the fog is being lifted, so to speak, all right, metaphorically speaking. Some of the fog is being lifted, I will say that. And today, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors made history, in my opinion, along with a very key player on that Board of Supervisors, and that is District 10 Supervisor Shimon Walton. He had a lot to do with the news that was made today. And so I'm here to just cover some local news and check out what's happening right now in our news in San Francisco, and then get to some programming within this Dreamkeeper Diary broadcast. And let me just tell you a little bit about the Dreamkeeper Diary. It was created from the opportunity that I had with the Dreamkeeper Initiative. And so I am Clarity Media. I am the founder of Clarity Media, and Clarity Media is being supported by the Dreamkeeper Initiative. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative, you can find out all about it. Let me include the website on the screen for you, since many of you will have questions about the Dreamkeeper Initiative and what it's actually about. There's some information there on the website that you can look up. You can find out about it. You can, ask me some questions after you read about what the Dreamkeeper Initiative is about. Okay, so let's see. There you go. All right, so you can visit www.dreamkeepersf.org for more information about the Dreamkeeper Diary. But basically, it was an opportunity for Black San Franciscans who own businesses and have services and programs to offer other citizens in San Francisco, not just Black, but generally speaking, the businesses and the nonprofit organizations and groups that have something good to offer the city. Okay. So the Dreamkeeper is all about that. That's what it's about. Now, not everybody involved in the dream, not every grantee in the Dreamkeeper Initiative is doing exactly what they said they would do. That goes without saying. I will say for myself, as a dream keeper cohort for the storytelling and narrative shift cohort, that is a group of us who are mostly media professionals. Uh, we have signed up to tell the stories of Black San Francisco, and that's what I said I do, and that's what I am doing. I am telling the stories of Black San Francisco. I'm celebrating the stories of Black San Francisco. I'm not looking at all of the negativity and all of the bad news. I'm looking at the good news. I'm looking for the solutions that we have come up with on our own as Black people without much support, historically speaking, systemically speaking. We have done really good with not very much as Black people in San Francisco. And I have to say, I'm a proud granddaughter, a proud daughter of some of those Black folks who made a way out of no way in San Francisco. And so the fight continues through the Dreamkeeper Initiative, excuse me for smacking, through the Dreamkeeper Initiative and through the movement for reparations in San Francisco. The dreams and ideas, the hopes and aspirations of Black San Francisco continues, and thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. So let me take a quick little drink here. Hold on. Mm. And my coffee cup reads, there's nothing like a new day. Nothing like a new day. Let me tell you, there is nothing like a new day. And there's the rainbow to represent the community in San Francisco. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a proud daughter of San Francisco, and I have no shame. Okay. So I've explained a little bit about the Dreamkeeper Diary. It was born from the Dreamkeeper Initiative. I am set out to tell those stories about Black San Francisco and to celebrate Black San Francisco. That's what the Dreamkeeper Diary is all about. It was born from my part and my role as a Dreamkeeper initiative cohort of the storytelling and narrative shift cohort. Okay, got that done. And if you want to know more about the Dreamkeeper Initiative, you can visit www.dreamkeepersf.org to get more information about the Dreamkeeper Initiative there. Okay, gotten that done. And so now on to that reparations movement that continues. I have on the Clarity Media platform on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and wherever you like to hang out on social media. I have a lot of information out there about the reparations movement. Uh, it includes the full report or reports within the report. There's a full report, but there are two parts in that report, report 1 and 2, and there are a total of, well, not a total, but some 300 pages in the report that is describing and explaining the reparations ask, the package or the demand. If you, some of you might say it's an ask, some might say it's a demand, some might say it's just an idea and a dream that will never come true. Well, I happen to believe that reparations are due and they will be paid and they will happen. Okay, because it's not just about money, it's about systems that have been created that need to be dismantled and new systems that need to be created for Black people from San Francisco. Okay? Their descendants, all of their history, legacy, traditions, cultural currency, all of that needs to be reset, renewed, demolished, recreated. It needs tending. Our crops, our hard work, our efforts, our energy, our value, our currency, our traditions in San Francisco all need tending. Okay. It's time to harvest. It is harvest time. I need to be a preacher. Maybe I should have been in the pulpit. It is harvest time. It is time to reap all of what we have sown and all that my grandparents and great aunts and uncles and ancestors have, all of the work that they've put into creating the city that exists today. And it is a beautiful city, regardless of what some may say. Excuse me here. Yeah, doing a lot of talking here. Okay, so I'm going to continue to talk, but I want to share some really important information with all of you, okay? Because San Francisco is still making news, okay? So let me just add the news to the stage here. And thank you for anyone watching right now. Thank you for tuning in to Clarity Media. I'm Alicia Mayo, the CEO and founder of Clarity Media. I used to work for corporate media until I realized that they weren't interested in allowing me as an executive producer to produce content about people that look like me and that sound like me and that have ideas like me. Corporate media wasn't interested in that. And so, yeah, it was a tough separation, but I had to separate myself from that and create my own platform. And so I created Clarity Media back in 2015, actually. But it was just an idea that I really started developing and working on. And then I became incorporated as a nonprofit media organization in 2020. And then I started working with the Dream Keeper Initiative in 2021. Okay, so I've been doing this work in broadcasting, radio and television broadcasting for over 38 years. I've worked for all of the major networks, CBS, Nexstar, NBC, KPIX, Channel 5, KCBS News as a news anchor and news editor and producer, iHeartMedia as a traffic news anchor, traffic and weather news anchor. And I have worked for Westwood One. I worked for Caltrans and the 511 system, reporting traffic news to you. So I have a lot of background in broadcast. Oh, let me go even further back. I started as an intern at KPOO Radio, 89.5 FM, Black owned radio in San Francisco, still Black owned today. And I also worked for KDIA back in the day when it was Black owned, 1310 AM KDIA. Some of you may remember that. But I'm proud. I am very proud of what I'm doing here today. And I continue to work with other networks and platforms, like I will be working for Audiolist.com and the Velvet Touch Jazz radio station. That's coming up very soon. I've been training for that. And then I just connected with the Black Headline News Network. All right. And I'll be producing content for the Black Headline News Network coming up shortly as well. So that's what I'm up to. I'm all about news and information, but I also am interested in producing exclusive content and sharing great content from other Black led and Black owned media networks and organizations as well. So if you know someone who is producing great content, out there and they're just doing it on a small scale, that's okay. If it's really important and relevant and valuable information, I'm happy to share it here on Clarity Media. That's what it's all about. That's how we are going to elevate and leverage our own platforms by collaborating and coordinating our work together so that we can all have a seat at the table so that all of our content can be witnessed, appreciated, and enjoyed. Okay. Reach out to me. I will share my email address sometime throughout this broadcast. Okay. So stick with me now. So let's go through this Associated Press story on San Francisco. Okay. Yes, we're in the news. San Francisco apologizes to Black residents for decades of racist policies. Okay. And in the picture there, um, you can see the crowd listening to speakers at the reparations rally outside of City Hall in San Francisco on March 14th. I was there on that day, actually, and I had my camera crews out there covering the event. And I can share that content with you here in this broadcast, this live broadcast. I am actually coming to you live right now. This is not pre recorded. I am speaking to you live and in person right now. And so I'm producing live on the spot. I can share one of those episodes that includes that content from that day, March 14th, last year, on the steps of City Hall in San Francisco as we rallied for reparations. I'm rallying for reparations because I believe that a debt is owed. I know the history of my family and all of the contributions that they've made to San Francisco, including myself, my own contributions working and living and paying taxes in San Francisco most of my life. And so, it's real. It's real. But let me read this. And this is a story written by Janie Har of the Associated Press. San Francisco's supervisors formally apologized Tuesday to African Americans and their descendants for the city's role in perpetuating racism and discrimination. On behalf of the on behalf of the City and County of San Francisco, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors offers its deepest apologies to all African Americans and their descendants who came to San Francisco and were victims of systemic and structural discrimination, institutional racism, targeted acts of violence, and atrocities. And that's what the resolution reads in part. All 11 board members signed on as sponsors of the resolution. All right, so let's see. It is the first reparations recommendation. This apology is the first reparations recommendation of more than 100 proposals, in addition to the $5 million made by the city committee to win approval. The African American Reparations Advisory Committee also proposed that every eligible Black adult receive $5 million in a lump sum cash payment and a guaranteed income of nearly $100,000 a year to remedy San Francisco's deep racial wealth gap. And that is a fact. There is a deep racial wealth gap, so much so that I can't even afford to live in San Francisco anymore. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know when that happens. Hey, I'll be trying to follow it, but if you guys get some news about it before I get it, let me know because I would love to move back to my city sooner than later, to be quite honest. Okay, so on with the story, but there has been no action on those other proposals. Well, Mayor Breed is, who is Black, yes, she is Black, said she believes reparations should be handled at the national level, on the federal level. Yes, in the White House. And I can see that now. Mayor Breed in the White House. Can you see it? I can see it. I can see it. We'll talk about that later. But let me go on. So Mayor Breed said she believes reparations should be handled at the national level. At the national level, facing a budget crunch, her administration eliminated $4 million for a proposed reparations office in cuts this year. So she said no to the office here locally, but she's looking at a bigger picture. See, so that's why you cannot jump to conclusions. When you read information, you have to continue reading or you have to continue doing your research because you may be missing part of the story, all right? And some stories you might not want to miss, especially if you're black in San Francisco. You'll want to know the full story. You'll need to know the information. Yes, definitely. Okay. So San Francisco joins another major US city, and that is Boston, in issuing an apology to black folks in their city, or in their cities. Yeah. Nine other states have formally apologized for slavery, according to the resolution. The resolution calls on San Francisco not to repeat the harmful policies and practices and to commit to making substantial, ongoing, systemic, and programmatic investments in Black communities. And there are about 46,000 Black residents in San Francisco. Hey, y'all, I'm over here. Don't forget me. An apology from the city is very concrete and is not just symbolic, as admitting fault is a major step in making amends, said Supervisor Shimon Walton. He's the only Black member of the board and chief proponent of reparations. He said that at a committee hearing on the resolution earlier this month. Others say the apology is insufficient on its own for true atonement. An apology is just cotton candy rhetoric, said the Reverend Amos Brown, a member of the San Francisco Reparations Advisory Committee that proposed the apology amongst other recommendations. He said also that what we need is concrete actions, and there's his picture there. And that is Supervisor Shimon Walton there to his left. All right, let's see here. Reparations advocates at the previous hearing expressed frustration with the slow pace of government action, saying that Black residents continue to lag in metrics related to health, education, and income. The resolution apologizes to African Americans and their descendants for systemic and structural discrimination, targeted acts of violence, atrocities, and committing to the rectification and redress of past policies and misdeeds. The resolution contains findings including property redlining, the raising of the historically Black Fillmore neighborhood in the name of urban renewal, and the intentional policies and practices by the city that robbed Black residents of opportunities to build generational wealth. Black people, for example, make up 38% of San Francisco's homeless population, despite being less than 6% of the general population, according to a 2022 federal count. In 2020, California became the first state in the nation to create a reparations task force, and the state committee, which dissolved in 2023, just this past December. Okay, let's see. There are links there in this AP news that you can click on if you go to their website on the AP.com website. You can click on to find out more about numerous other policies and recommendations under the statewide and the citywide committees and task force recommendations. Or you can visit www.sfreparations. Let me get that web address for you here on the screen. You can find out more about that reparations report and all of the recommendations included in the report. Okay, so hold on a second here. Where is I'm looking for the address for you guys, so stay tuned there. Thank you for tuning in to Clarity Media and the Dreamkeeper Diary. This is a live stream. You are tuned in and you are watching live producing happening right now on the spot while you're watching. Okay. Yeah, this is how I do it. Okay. This is pretty exciting. It's a juggle, but I am doing it. Okay. So there's that. And thank you again for tuning in. I do appreciate it. So there's a web address for San Francisco Reparations.org website where you can find out more about the reparations reports and all of the recommendations that were made in that report there by the committee. Okay, so back to this story here. written by the AP about the apology made by the Board of Supervisors. Um, so, the reparations bill introduced by the California Legislative Black Caucus this year also left out financial redress, although the package includes proposals to compensate people whose land the government seized through eminent domain and create a let me see. They want to create a state reparations agency and ban forced prison labor and issue an apology like the San Francisco Board of Supervisors has done. Okay, today. Cheryl Thornton, a San Francisco city employee who is Black, said in an interview after the committee hearing that an apology alone does little to address current problems, such as shorter lifespans for Black people. That's why reparations is important in healthcare, she said. And it's just because of the lack of healthy food, the lack of access to medical care, and the lack of access to quality education. I think that's the end of the story. Yeah. That's the end of the story. So I'll stop sharing that. And again, you can visit www.sfreparations.org to find out more about that reparations report that was produced by the San Francisco Reparations Advisory Committee. Sorry, I was going to say task force, but there's a statewide task force as well that Reverend Amos Brown is a part of. He is also a part of the San Francisco Advisory Committee, along with other members of that reparations committee. And you can find out more about who they are, their report, and where they're at in the process of fighting for reparations for Black San Francisco and by Black San Franciscans in San Francisco. You can visit www.sfreparations.org. Now, I'm going a little fast because I have a lot of information to share with all of you today that I want to get to. I'm really excited about it. And I want to just say thank you for tuning in to the Dream Keeper Diary. This is Alicia Mayo, the CEO and founder of Clarity Media, Black woman owned Clarity Media. I am happy, so happy about bringing this kind of exclusive content to you. You can only find this content here on my platform. Clarity Media is the most eclectic, the most innovative use of social media that highlights and celebrates Black San Francisco in the Bay Area and wherever we are in the diaspora. Okay. I was going to say it wrong again. In the diaspora, I've been practicing that. All right. So wherever Black San Franciscans are in the diaspora, that's where you will find me covering them. I will be looking, searching, digging up all of the best content, all of the best information, and sharing it with you all here on Clarity Media. Make sure you visit Clarity Media on YouTube because that's where I put all of the content. And there are bits and pieces of it on Instagram and on Meta and on Twitter and on LinkedIn and even over there on Twitter. Sometimes I include some content over there, but you will find the majority of my content on YouTube. And I want you to make sure that you subscribe. Okay. Click on the thumbs up, like it, and tap the notifications bell because every time I go live to produce live content like I'm doing right now, and if you're witnessing it, you're lucky. All right. But every time I go live like this, you'll be notified. You'll be one of the first to witness it as it happens. Okay. And I really try hard to bring the best content and not make any mistakes and make it look like television for all of you so that it is the best experience possible. All right. And please share this content with your friends and family and let me know what you think of it because it is really important for me to know if you are enjoying what you're watching or not. Okay, so I'll be back with some more content. Please stay tuned for more. I do have some great content for you. It is still Black History Month, but I celebrate Black History 365 days a year. Why? Because I'm Black. Yes, that's part of it. But why? Because Black people are a megalith, not a monolith. We are not, just this or that. we are so much more. And it is my pleasure to bring all of this wonderful content about Black people to all of you. So stay tuned for more. Thank you.
If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop us an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few, drip lit like a spotlight. Just winning, media life spinning, media life spinning.
Tune in weekdays to the Bay Area Mental Health Hour on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. You'll find us covering issues surrounding your everyday coping skills and your mental health and wellness. And remember, your mental health matters as much as your physical health. Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Peace and welcome to the culture here on the Black Star Network. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Folks, we got a fantastic show. I cannot wait to introduce you to this dope sister who is a theologian. She's a scholar. She's an activist. She's author of the book, Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power. We're going to talk to her about all things relating to the politics of this country, culture, and so much more. Also, folks, let's talk about how pieces of a Dr. Martin Luther King memorial have been stolen in Denver and how there seems to be a trend about Black memorials happening all across this country. We'll have that conversation. And later on, Black country artists are taking center stage. I'm going to be checking in with Chapel Hart to talk about how more people are now intrigued with Black country because of Beyonce and what they got to say about the matter. So, folks, we got a lot to talk about. Stay with us. It's all happening on today's edition of The Culture right here on the Black Star Network. Let's go. All right, folks, welcome to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Folks, we are streaming live right now on our home website of blackstarnetwork.com. Make sure you go to our website today, download the app for free, and check us out there at blackstarnetwork.com. We would love to have you to be a part of our illustrious investors. So just put something in a bucket for us. And we thank you so much for your donations, but we are doing our part to make sure that we're having different conversations about the things that are impacting Black America right now. So just go to our website today at blackstarnetwork.com. We're also streaming live on Amazon platforms, on Amazon News, on your Fire TV. You can check us out there. Also, you can check us out on Amazon Prime Video, folks. Big shout out to Amazon Prime Video for being a partner with us. Just look under Live TV, the news, or the Prime Video app, or find us on Amazon.com under Prime Video, the Live TV and news. You can see us there. We're also on the Freevee network, where you can find us on Now under News for Black Star Networks, and Plex TV, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just search for Black Star Network, or find us under Live TV, the news and opinion. Oh man, it is Tuesday, folks. Happy Tuesday. And we got so much to talk about. But let me just do this very quickly. We're going to do a quick check-in with the fantastic, the illustrious, the incomparable Culture Crew. If y'all are tuning in, I truly, truly appreciate y'all for checking this out. So big shout out to the online Culture Crew that's gathering in the space. That's right, on the X platform. You can check us out there. Also, big shout out to the crew on the Facebook platform, as they are gathering on Big Brother Roland Martin's Facebook page, and on Facebook on the YouTube channel, Brother Roland Martin. So you go to Roland Martin's YouTube channel and you can find us there. Folks, I see y'all. Tiana, I see you checking in. Minglina Thompson Surge, I see you. The Stephanie Humphrey channel, I see you. Brian Christian, I see you. Who else we got here? Deidre Hall, I see you. Who else we got? Where's Cindy D? I don't see Cindy. Cindy always get on me about giving her a shout out. So I'm going to just say a shout out to Cindy D. Also, shout out to my brother Damon Blissett, and so many more. So you can join the conversation, unlike any other space and unlike any other interactive space, where you are a part of the discussion. That's right. I'm having conversations with our guests, and I'm having conversations with you. And I would love to hear what you have to say, especially today, because the sister that we got joining us in a few moments, she's got a lot to say, great insight. She got a fantastic new book that's going to be dropping next week. And I want to hear what you got to say. So make sure y'all join us in the Culture Crew. Look, I'm going to take a quick pause. When we come forward, let's have the conversation with my sister, my colleague, my comrade, my sister Rahel Tesfamariam, who is the author of the book, Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power. Let's have that conversation up next. Stay with us. It's The Culture here on the Black Star Network.
Check this out. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are investing a record $7 billion into HBCUs. Billions for campus improvements, grants, and debt relief. Billions more for HBCUs. Endless possibilities for us.
You heard why we're marching, and it's really a launch. It's not even a march. We're launching a 42-week campaign, March the 2nd at 10 o'clock in Raleigh and 33 other state capitals and the District of Columbia. This is a historic move to mobilize the most powerful untapped block of voters in this country, poor and low wealth voters, who make up 87 million votes. And it's never been tried before. Never been tried before in history. At the same time, the same message, same focus. And when that power turns loose, they will not be able to figure out the political calculus. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to shake things up. I'm ready to get up out of the valley. I'm ready for God to put his spirit on us. I'm ready to be used to change this nation. And what we're saying is, can't we come together? Can't we come together around an agenda? You ain't got to like everything about Rem Barber. You don't have to like everything about Sangria. You don't have to like everything about Long Prior. But can we come together and say, it's time to end poverty as the fourth leading cause of death? It's time to have $15 and a living wage indexed with inflation. So every time inflation goes up, the minimum wage goes up. It's time to have health care for all. It's time to fully fund public education. Can't we come together? It's time to protect women's right to women's health. It's time to have affordable housing for everybody. It's time to stop the proliferation of guns. Ain't no way folk ought to be able to have more guns than they have food, more guns than they have meat on their table. That makes no sense. Isn't it time for division to be ended and love to take over? Can't we organize around that? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't need to like everything about you. But can't we organize for power? Can't we stand for justice? Can't we love everybody for just a little while? Can't we come out of the valley? Can these bones live?
All right, folks, welcome back to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Let me just tell you, I am super excited about our first guest. She is doing some dynamic work, and I've known this sister for some time, watched her go through the great evolution that she has gone through in terms of her personal and professional life. And this sister always has something to say. And I wanted to make sure that we put her on the show, give her the most attention, just because she has a new body of work that's called Imagine Freedom. Take a look at this book cover, folks. It's dropping next week. Imagine Freedom, transforming power into political and spiritual, transforming pain, into political and spiritual power. And this is going to be dropping actually next Tuesday, March the 5th. And I'm very, very excited. And I hope that folks, that you hear what our sister has to say. And more importantly, you go out and check out the book. It is a very, very insightful book. But this woman is a woman who is an award-winning activist. She's a journalist. She is a theologian, international speaker, and now she is an author. I want to welcome her to the airwaves of The Culture here on the Black Star Network. My sister, Sister Rahel Tesfamariam. Rahel, how are you, dear sister? Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, my brother. It's so wonderful to be here with you. I'm excited. I mean, you are amazing at what you do. I've just been sitting here marveling at you. You are born to do this, and that's very clear.
Oh, that's a blessing coming from you, because you know a lot of stuff. So I don't take that lightly. First and foremost, congratulations on this piece of work that you're putting out there for the whole world to see. Imagine Freedom. Had a chance to get through to read this book, and I have to say, this is phenomenal. I am so excited for you on so many different levels. You know, for transparency, folks, I have me and Rahel, we had met each other, was back in 2012?
2012, because it was the BYP 100 convening.
Exactly. So the Black Youth Project.
Black Youth Project 100 convening, and we were together when the non-indictment for
George Zimmerman
came back.
Yeah, for the non-indictment. We actually met the weekend that he had his trial, and that historic judgment was made where he was found not guilty for killing Trayvon Martin. Absolutely. I had the opportunity to be in the same space with you, to organize and strategize with you. And from that first meeting, blew me away. You blew me away. Every time you spoke, I just shut up to hear and listen to what you have to say. You have brought so much to the conversation in a lot of different ways. And I really want you to know that, because there's nothing but a deep respect, love for you, because we need a voice like you, especially as a young woman. I saw your picture today on, I think it was on Instagram. You said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, I want to apologize. Somebody posted it and I couldn't walk away from it. I want to apologize to everyone who I called old at 40 when I was 18, right? To some people, Faraji, we're the elders now, right?
Right.
Oh my God. It comes real fast. Super fast.
Real fast.
Right.
Real fast. Now you are a wife. You are the mother of a beautiful little girl. Life has definitely changed. But let's talk a little bit about this book. Your book is dropping March the 5th. It's actually the same day as Super Tuesday. Your publisher, Amistad Books, decided to put this out. Was this by design because y'all wanted to do some disruption? Was this already by design or what?
I mean, that's a brilliant question. I actually need to ask them that because there's two things happening March 5th. One is Super Tuesday. Another thing is that it is actually my birthday. And so I always say that my publisher did not know, but God did. And I don't know what the publisher's plan was, but I do believe in providence. I believe in divine timing. I believe that, there's natural time and there's Kairos time. And Kairos is when God's plan aligns with our plans, and so I do think that God is trying to tell me and others something about the message of this book and how relevant it is to everything we're going through right now.
Very, very relevant. Let me pick your brain, because you have been very, very vocal about a number of issues on your social media. And folks, make sure y'all follow her, Rahel T, on Instagram and on all platforms. Y'all can check her out. Dynamic social media presence. But let's talk a little bit first about what you're seeing in this upcoming election for 2024. What are some of the big things that you're seeing, and more importantly, that we need to take note of as we're looking at two men who it's like a heavyweight fight part two. But this is a very different time. This wasn't like what it was in 2020. This wasn't like what it was in 2016 with former President Barack Obama. We're in a very different time. President Joe Biden is a different candidate. Donald Trump, a different candidate. What are you seeing in this presidential election?
I'm seeing that the Democratic Party is in danger. And what I mean by that is that I think the Democratic Party has taken the votes of Black Americans, of progressives, of the left for granted for very, very long. They've taken it for granted for a long time. And I think that the issues that matter the most to people right now are going to affect the way that people vote in a way that is terrifying to anyone who doesn't want Donald Trump to become president. Joe Biden became president on a campaign built on empathy because we were post-pandemic. He kind of connected with the grief that the country was dealing with, having lost over 1 million Americans. And he connected by being someone who had lost loved ones, experienced trauma, experienced suffering. And so everyone said, this is the person to lead our country in this moment. And now he is a president that is complicit in genocide in the majority of most liberals and Democrats' opinions. And whether or not they name that, they see his active role in what's happening in Gaza right now. And people don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And a lot of people are saying, I'm not voting at all, or I'm not voting for a Democrat. And a lot of folks are already thinking about a third party system. So we're in a state of crisis because we have two candidates who we don't want to vote for.
It is a state of crisis. Here's the thing that I think you talked about progressive yesterday here on the show. We talked about how Arab Americans have organized to create a campaign called Listen to Michigan, where these progressives are saying, look, we're going to our polls today. They're having their primaries today in the state of Michigan. They're calling people to vote uncommitted. And these are Democrats that are asking folks to vote uncommitted because of the stance that President Biden, his administration is taking on this conflict in Gaza. There's a lot of people are saying this is counterintuitive, this is counterproductive, because this will essentially open up the pathway for Donald Trump to win the White House. Do you agree with that assessment?
I believe that you cannot blame the people for wanting justice for all, freedom for all, liberation for all, that our humanity demands that we stand up for oppressed people at all times, that we care when tens of thousands of people have been killed in a matter of weeks and months, that we care when babies and children are being killed every minute and every second. And so you do not put the moral obligation on us to carry the weight of this country on our back when you clearly did not care about our votes. I mean, This is not about we're going to do whatever we want and then y'all vote the way that we tell you no matter what. This is about the fact that we are constituents. You respond and you answer to us. And I think a lot of politicians forget that. And it's not just about Biden. It's in large part the Democratic Party as a whole. I'm not out here advocating for people voting for Trump or handing the election over, but I will say that the Democratic Party needs to do some self-analysis right now, because there's going to be multi-generational effects of what's happening right now. It's not just going to be that this election is going to go bad. There will be people who are going to reimagine a different way of being in America beyond the Democrats. And what is that going to look like? It's going to look like new parties. I mean, there's going to be a reconfiguration that I believe is going to evolve out of this very moment. The crisis that the Democratic Party has created is not our fault. It's not the people's fault. It's the politicians' fault. Not all of them, but the large majority of them.
Should we take a moment to put that sentiment on the back burner, since we already know what's at stake if Donald Trump gets into office?
But Raji, if it was my baby or your baby, would I want anybody to put that on the back burner? Absolutely not. I would not. As a mother, and one of my passions about this issue is that as a mother, I do not want to create a world in which my child and thousands of other babies could be killed in cold blood and no one is held accountable for that. No, I do not want to co-sign on that world. And I don't want to co-sign it so that I can be comfortable for the next couple of years. I will not do it. But my own personal voting patterns and my own personal perspective is not what matters here. What matters is that as a community, we have to think about our relationship to the Democratic Party in radically new ways. That we don't simply, everybody talks about the lesser of two evils. Who the hell wants to be out here voting for the lesser of two evils? I mean, get out of here. Like, think about the fact that we have been watching president after president not do much when young Black people were being killed and police officers were not being held accountable. It's not like they've been serving our interests for years and years and years, and they just got it wrong on this one issue. No, the Democratic Party, for the most part, in some ways, gives us a lot of lip service, right? And I say that because voter suppression, a lot of issues that matter to us have not been prioritized by Biden. He prioritized giving us Juneteenth, right? And it's a fight that many fought, but we were calling for other things, and he put Juneteenth as a priority, right? I mean, loans, whatever it is, a lot of times they do what they think we want to appease us in the meantime, but they're not creating a long-term strategy. Where's universal health care? Where's the abolition of the new Jim Crow? I mean, give us a new radical world. And he's not doing that. None of them are doing that, right? So I'm not talking about abolishing a political system. We got to operate in it. We got to live in it. But there should be a remnant of us that say this is unacceptable.
Folks, we got to take a quick pause. We're just getting started with my sister here as we talk about politics and so much more. I'm talking to my sister Rahel Tesfamariam, who is the author of the book Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power. So much more we need to discuss. So many questions we need to ask and get to answer. And I want you to join me in the conversation right now. Post your comments and your questions in the chat right now, or stream it live on Roland Martin's YouTube page and or his Facebook page. And of course, stay with us. We still got a lot more to talk to with Rahel about here on The Culture on the Black Star Network.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop us an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few. Drip lit like a spot. Just winning. Media life spinning. Media life spinning.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder of Taylor J Collection. We are a women's contemporary clothing brand located right here in Oakland, California. The journey of a woman comes with many changes, and that's why we are very intentional about all of our designs and collections. We make sure to provide elevated comfort, sustainability, versatility, and of course, style. If you're in the Bay Area, come by, say hi, and take some comfy pieces home to add to your closet. Shop with us online at taylorjcollection.com.
Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
A real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
Check this out. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are investing a record $7 billion into HBCUs. Billions for campus improvements, grants, and debt relief. Billions more for HBCUs. Endless possibilities for us.
When you talk about Blackness and what happens in Black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in Black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Take some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. As I check in today with my sister Rahel Tesfamariam, who is author of the book, Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power. It is a great book. It drops on March the 5th next week, folks. And this is a book that I want to say is more like a how-to book, because it gives us not only just a little bit pieces of your personal life, which is very, very relevant to the topics that you laid out in this book, but also it gives us a different context on how to think about the world that we're living in. And so I want to talk to you first, Rahel, about this idea of imagining freedom, which is something that I think is very important. There is a component of what you say in this book that it's not about the tangible, it's about the intangible. It's about going into yourself and rethinking some things, asking some important questions. Like your first chapter talks about reclamation and talking about the idea of a Black Eden. So now you're taking us on this journey. And folks, let me just say, the book starts off with reclamation, but it ends with a fantastic chapter about love. So there's this whole journey that Rahel takes us through in terms of politics, culture, media, the whole nine to understand this. But let's talk about the ability to see freedom. Do you feel like Black America, where we stand at this moment in 2024, that we can imagine a different reality?
Well, first, we have to lean into ancestral wisdom, right? So when, as freedom fighters, as people rooted in liberation, we look to our ancestors. We look to those who survived colonization. We look to those who survived enslavement, and we say, how did they do it, right? How did they do it? One, they leaned into the past. Their memories of Africa, their memories of the village, their memories of the community, of the family. You know, they leaned into remembrance because remembrance is resistance. Our memory is what the oppressor often tried to take away from us. One major tool of enslavement and bondage is deculturalization, stripping people of a culture, of a memory, so that they're left with nothing, left with no will to fight and resist. So remembrance and resistance are tied together. So that there's that pulling from the past, there's that resilience that allows you to live with the present, and then there's also a vision of the future. And so when we think about a Harriet Tubman looking to the North Star, you have the origins of what we call Afrofuturism. You have people looking to the future, to the heavens, to the skies, to look beyond the present reality that's brutal and horrific and evil. And so we have to have this relationship to liberation rooted in the past, present, and future. The problem is it's often rooted for us in the present. And so we're trying to change systems. We're trying to get things to go our way with the votes. It's all about the present. But as long as we are in that continuum of the past, the present, and the future, freedom and liberation begin to look very different.
So it opens up the discussion that it's like we're kind of trying to do all these same, put our minds in different places all at the same time, and that trips us up. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
No. What I'm saying is, white supremacy. What I often say is white supremacy's powerful tool is a tool of distraction. And one of the ways that white supremacy is so powerful in distracting us is through the media, which in the book I call an arm of white supremacy. So you got the media sending us these images, telling us what's important. So we're looking at the Kardashians every day. We're looking at Taylor Swift every day. We're focused on the NFL, the NBA. I mean, we're being told what matters. And so what we have to do is pull ourselves out of this matrix of the media, out of white propaganda, European standards of beauty, and look to our people and say, who have our people always been? What are those communal values that Black people, people of Afro-descendant origin have always had? We've always been a communal people. We've always been rooted in shared cooperative economics. If I'm hungry, you're going to take care of me. If you're hungry, I got you. This is the village system we've always been a part of. So I'm not saying that we don't have the capacity to see beyond our present moment. We do. I think our ancestors did. But the challenge is they were not bound to the bondage of social media the way that we are. We got new shackles. Our shackles are digital, right? So our greatest challenges is to free ourselves from the shackles of digital technology that are shaping how we see the world.
And because we are so ingrained and enslaved to these to all of these distractions, and I want to kind of tap into your theologian brain set here, because what does that do to the mind and to the spirit of any individual?
Oh my God. Let's talk about the Tower of Babel, because you're asking me to wear my theological hat. So in the Old Testament, the Tower of Babel, they were basically creating a mechanism to get closer and closer and closer to God, right? It's like we can reach you. We can be at one. And so that was the idea behind this Tower of Babel. Well, we have modern Tower of Babels. Our Tower of Babels are people creating systems like AI, not to say that they don't have their pluses and minuses, that they're all bad, but there are ways in which artificial intelligence is trying to replicate what only God can give us. And so as we lean into the digital, as we lean into the artificial, that's why organic products are at a premium because we got to pay a higher price to get back to basics. We got to pay luxury prices to pay for what comes out of the ground because they have processed everything to a point that we don't know the origins of anything, right? And so from a spiritual perspective, the more liberated we are, the more organic we find ourselves. And it means detaching from a lot of things. It means withdrawal. I talk about how Jesus walked away from the crowd. Jesus immersed himself in solitude because otherwise they will have, I mean, it's like Carter G. Woodson telling us, if I control your mind, I don't have to tell you what to do. By controlling your mind, you're automatically going to do whatever I want you to do.
And I'm glad that you brought up this point because it makes me think about the section in your book, and it's in the first chapter talking about zombies and batteries. Now, you use this in the context of capitalism, where you quoted or referenced Afrobeat pioneer Fela Kuti, who warned against the capacity to become a tool of the state and lose one's humanity in the 1976 protest song Zombie, that OK Africa described as a scathing attack on the Nigerian military that uses zombies as a metaphor for soldiers mindlessly following orders. This really struck a chord for me, Rahel, because it was like, when I read it, I literally put the book down. I was like, all right, I need to take a break.
That's what I want. Right. You haven't written a book until somebody slams it down.
That's just like, wait a minute, hold on. So we zombies and batteries right now.
Right. Yeah.
We are zombies and batteries right now. So do we? It sounds. Go deeper into this idea of zombies and batteries and what this Afrobeat pioneer was really getting to.
I mean, so what's fascinating about what Fela Kuti was saying, right? I mean, you got to remember he was in Nigeria. He was in an African nation. So here, oftentimes there's this dichotomy of black and white. You know, it's typically black people, white officer, right? But Fela Kuti complicates that for us because you know, in the context of the continent, you have black governments, you have black soldiers, you have black politicians, right? There are ways in which we run Africa. And so what he's saying by zombies is saying you don't have to be white to be a tool of the state. You don't have to be white to be an oppressor. That there are ways in which no matter who you are, you can become a zombie that mindlessly follows the will of the oppressor or the state, meaning black people can. And so in the US context, we know that because we have black officers who are vessels of state violence, who kill their own people, who incarcerate their own people at levels that are disproportionate. So it's the idea that, you know, we too are zombies controlled by the state. Now, batteries, what I'm saying when I talk about that is burnout, exhaustion, depletion. You know, when you think of a battery, you don't know when it's about to die. It's going to go and go and go. And then one day you'll try to use it and it's gone, right? And so batteries keep going and going without knowing that they're dying. And we live in a world where we are working ourselves to death. And you see an entire generation who wants to prove their worth by showing you how much they're doing, right? And where is the value in rest? Where is the value in stillness? Which are Christian values, which are Muslim values, which are Buddhist. I mean, almost every major religion you can think of speaks of Sabbath and rest because we understand that there's no way we can be in tune to God without stillness.
Let me switch gears a little bit, and I'm getting excited. I'm getting too damn excited having this conversation. But as one who has studied theology, Pan-Africanism, the philosophies of Black movements, are we having the right conversations about freedom and liberation? And if we aren't, then what's missing?
Well, you know, and so your earlier question about should we focus and redirect our attention to what's happening with this election, you know, some people say don't become a one issue voter, you know, and so this is where I think Palestine does come back up for us, because what I think Palestine speaks to is a global struggle, is a global fight. And unfortunately, American exceptionalism is something that we're all victim to, including people of color, Black people. I mean, we begin to think that we are all that matters, that, you know, you go on these networks and America is like the only country, North America, because we disregard South America. So when I was on the continent, somebody schooled me to the fact that Americans say America as if South America doesn't exist, right? So there are all these ways in which we center ourselves. So one way in which we enlarge in our conception of freedom is to be global. And I'm not talking about you going on a flight to Costa Rica with your girls at a resort, not to judge nobody. But what I'm saying is we have to have internationalist perspectives that are just not about escaping the US so that we can have resort fantasy experiences on these islands and resorts. No, how are you engaging the world? Because when you think about freedom fighters like the Black Panther parties and SNCC, they went to Palestine. I mean, they went to West Africa, South Africa. They saw these places. They built comrades. They built connections. Like they had relationships. Ella Baker never left the country, from my understanding, but was an internationalist in her worldview and her relationships in the United States. So what I'm talking about is, what does it mean to be committed to freedom on a global and international perspective, and not simply want to see Black folks in America get free?
Look, I got to take another quick pause when we come forward. I want to talk more about this internationalist perspective that you speak of, because the United Nations had made a serious announcement in terms of those from the motherland, from the continent, and I'm gonna share with you what they had to say, and of course, hear what folks are saying on the chat. So stay with us, folks. We are continuing the conversation on the other side with my sister Rahel Tatsfamariam, who is author of the book Imagine Freedom. The book drops next week, next Tuesday on March the 5th. And you want to make sure you pick up a copy of this, Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power. We're talking about it. Stay with us. It's The Culture here on the Black Star Network.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder of Taylor J Collection. We are a women's contemporary clothing brand located right here in Oakland, California. The journey of a woman comes with many changes, and that's why we are very intentional about all of our designs and collections. We make sure to provide elevated comfort, sustainability, versatility, and of course, style. If you're in the Bay Area, come by, say hi, and take some comfy pieces home to add to your closet. Shop with us online at taylorjcollection.com.
If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop us an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity, Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few, drip lit like a spotlight. Just winning, media life spinning.
You heard why we're marching, and it's really a launch. It's not even a march. We're launching a 42-week campaign, March the 2nd at 10 o'clock in Raleigh and 33 other state capitals and the District of Columbia. This is a historic move to mobilize the most powerful untapped block of voters in this country, poor and low wealth voters, who make up 87 million votes. And it's never been tried before. Never been tried before in history. At the same time, same message, same focus. And when that power turns loose, they will not be able to figure out the political calculus. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to shake things up. I'm ready to get up out of the valley. I'm ready for God to put his spirit on us. I'm ready to be used to change this nation. And what we're saying is, can't we come together? Can't we come together around an agenda? You ain't got to like everything about Reverend Barber. You don't have to like everything about Sangria. You don't have to like everything about Long Choir. But can we come together and say, it's time to end poverty as the fourth leading cause of death? It's time to have $15 and a living wage indexed with inflation. So every time inflation goes up, the minimum wage goes up. It's time to have health care for all. It's time to fully fund public education. Can't we come together? It's time to protect women's right to women's health. It's time to have affordable housing for everybody. It's time to stop the proliferation of guns. Ain't no way folk ought to be able to have more guns than they have food, more guns than they have meat on their table. That makes no sense. Isn't it time for division to be ended and love to take over? Can't we organize around that? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't need to like everything about you, but can't we organize for power? Can't we stand for justice? Can't we love everybody for just a little while? Can't we come out of the valley? Can these bones live?
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. This is an opportunity for us to be able to speak to our issues. Y'all better understand something real quick. We ain't going nowhere. It is a continual battle that we see all across this country. Revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be streamed.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
He makes sure that our stories are told.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
All right, folks, welcome back to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad, joined by my sister and first special guest today, Rahel Tesfamariam, who is the author of the brand new book, Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power, as we talk about all things politics, all things spiritual, and so much more. The book goes on sale on March the 5th, next week, and we're having a conversation about it. Rahel will be actually doing her national tour, kicking that off as well. She's going to be in cities such as DC, as well as Philadelphia. So make sure y'all follow her on all social media platforms to stay up to date on the latest moves that she's making as she is having these conversations about what we can do to imagine freedom. But I wanted to speak on this one thing. You talked about this internationalist mindset, and I think this is the one, like a point of contention for a lot of Black people at this moment because of what's happening in Gaza, which is trying to understand, you know, the big question people always ask is, why should we be concerned about the Palestinians when we got A, B, C, D, E happening over here in Black America? And there have been numerous discussions from scholars, theologians, and others who have said that there is a link between the struggle of the Palestinian people and the struggle of Black people, African people. Yeah. We also know that South Africa has been the one who has calling out Israel for the genocide that is happening on that part of the region. We know that there are many Palestinian people. We have a Palestinian lawmaker in Rashida Tlaib, who has stood with other Black lawmakers on various issues. So why is this such a hard thing, Rahel, for us to really understand, like, that this struggle that we see across the water there is akin to the struggle that we have here? And why should this not be something that we should seriously think about when talking about this upcoming election?
So one, I'll start with the Lauryn Hill quote where she said, you know, fantasy is what people want, but reality is what they need. And when I say that, I'm talking about the fantasy we have, that our comfort, you know, our peace of mind is not connected to the nightmares and horrors that other people are facing. It's just not true. You know, first of all, I mean, just even from a selfish perspective, you will never be safe. Your children will never be safe as long as generations of people are being radicalized by their hatred for the United States of America. Let's be honest about that, right? That there are people who are going to hate the United States because masses and masses and masses of their people and their children are being annihilated by our US tax dollars. So even if you're operating from a place of Black self-interest, it is in the self-interest of Black America and our safety that other people feel safe. And as long as other people in other countries of other religions do not feel safe, neither will our children ever be safe. And that is a multi-generational consequence that we will pay. That until the children of other people and until other people can freely pray and eat and live and learn the way that we do, our children and their children will never be safe. So if you want to take the most selfish approach possible, take that one. And the other thing is that we have gotten too comfortable being American. We have leaned into luxury and forgotten about liberation. And there's a viral quote that I had that talked about Black excellence and how we pride ourselves on those who are famous and popular and rich and wealthy, when the real Black excellence are those who were martyred for us. It's the Fred Hamptons of the world, okay? It's the Ida B. Wells of the world. It's the people who could not eat and breathe and live a normal life because the FBI and the CIA were knocking at their doors. Those are the heroes. And we have a hero worship of people who are wealthy, and we want to be like them. I don't want to be like them. I want to be like the people who sacrificed and died for my people. So let's reprioritize what Black excellence really means, because it does not mean the same thing for all of us.
Absolutely. Let me go to a couple of the comments from the culture crew as folks are checking in. Coretta, my sister, has posted, "My sympathy / compassion for Palestine will never compromise the fight we are facing right here at home. Black folks are tired of being the sacrificial lamb for everyone else." What's your take on that comment? Thank you, Coretta.
Wow. I mean, you know, first of all, you know, Black liberation in the United States has always been a multiracial, multicultural, multi-class liberation struggle. Do not ever think that it was simply Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the people that we often hear about. No, it took white people dying. It took Latino people, you know, aligning with the Black Panthers. It was always multicultural. I mean, we had to cross lines. We had to cross boundaries. And if we think that those battles and struggles were fought by us and us alone, we are wrong. We don't know our history. We couldn't have accomplished what we accomplished without white folks and brown folks and poor folks and rich folks. It was all of us, right? And until we understand that our liberation is all tied up one with another. I mean, we've heard the quote a million times of how many people Harriet Tubman saved, and she could have saved so many more if they knew that they were not liberated. I mean, come on, like, to think that our freedom is so important that it has to be prioritized over everybody else. If that was the case, South Africa would still be living in an apartheid regime. And let me say this lastly, most people do not understand that we live on land that was colonized. This is a settler colonial land right here. This is a land built on genocide. This is a land built on apartheid. If you really want to talk about the United States of America, there's a lot of commonalities right here. And the reason that our government is so comfortable with the atrocities is because they commit them. They have always committed them. So if you want to align with that history, that's on you.
Let me post something. Let me just share something else. This is from let me make sure I got this person correctly, because I saw we got so many people in the chat. They want to say something as they talk about this. How do you make sure that as we're having these conversations, and you mentioned this earlier before, that when we're having these conversations that we understand what's at stake and the right way to understand what's at stake? Because I agree with you 1,000%. I feel like there's a bunch of distractions right now. And even as I have these conversations on a daily basis on this platform, it still can be a lot of filtering that has to happen. And there's some people in the chat right now that thinking, I mean, keeping it real, that think that you are even advocating to vote for Trump. And I'm like, wait a minute, are you listening to the same person that I'm listening to? But how do we make sure that we understand what's at stake at this point?
Well, I mean, I've tried to speak of it in the most simple of terms, right? So I don't expect everyone to speak my language. You know, I speak through the lens of liberation and theology. Not everybody's gonna speak in the lens of Jesus and justice, but that is the lens I will always speak in, right? But if I can make it as simple as possible, one of the ways I've been talking about it on social media is understand these political matters that seem complex in the context of something that we all understand, which is relationships. And I've been saying that a lot of people right now are breaking up with the United States. And that has nothing to do with Trump or Biden, but it's about their identity as Americans. And they're seeing themselves differently and almost in some ways having an identity crisis because they realize they're in this abusive, toxic relationship and they want to get out of it and don't know how. And so for those people who are uncomfortable being American, if you're not uncomfortable being American, I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But if you do experience some discomfort in your American identity, then what I would say to you is that if you acknowledge you are in an unhealthy relationship, oftentimes when people are in a relationship, they have an exit strategy. It's a short-term and a long-term strategy. So some people might say, I'm going to vote for Biden in this election because I do not want a Trump presidency. And if that's what you say, that is totally fine. And it is understood and it is valid and it makes total sense. And then there will be other people who say, I'm going to vote for him this go round, but I will never vote the same way again. I will reimagine voting in a very different way. And those are going to be the people who are thinking third party, fourth, fifth party system. I mean, those are the people who are going to be trying to train up our leaders in the hood and all kinds of stuff, right? So all I'm saying is we need a short-term and a long-term strategy. We have a crisis at hand. We're going to deal with that crisis as we individually and collectively believe we should. But don't guilt Black people who believe that their politics will not allow them to vote for Biden. You cannot do it because those same people could guilt you and say, why are you siding with someone who is capable of being complicit in the atrocities that Biden is complicit in?
Let's talk a little bit about, I want to talk about something that the United Nations had recently, they just announced this just like yesterday, talking about, they called for recognition, justice, and development for people of African descent with by saying that 2015 to 2024 as the International Decade for People of African Descent, as they are proclaimed by the General Assembly. They are doing this as part of an effort to recognize, to bring some attention to the justice issues and development issues of Black people all across this globe. Do you feel like these type of efforts, whether it's coming from the United Nations or whether it's coming from the United States or others, that we really do need to institutionalize our humanity in the sense of, you know, letting the world know, hey, this is a group of people that have suffered. This is a group of people that have been under the scrutiny of injustice. Is that a strategy for us to get to the place that you call a new place of imagining freedom?
Well, I mean, one, we do need to understand why the United Nations was established. I mean, so a lot of people forget the history and why a lot of the charters were established. Many of them were established to be very clear that people, meaning nations, have a right to self-determination. So African nations that all got caught up in the scramble for Africa, where these European nations divided up Africa, our resources, and decided how they were going to tear us apart, draw the lines along tribal lines, and they didn't even care who was what. They just said, Europe, Britain is going to get that, France is going to get that. So you have the United Nations declaring that people have a right to armies, they have a right to their own political parties. And I think one thing for us to think about is, what does self-determination look like for Black America? Beyond the two-party system, beyond how we vote, what does it mean for us to self-govern? What does it mean for us to own land? What does it mean for us to have autonomy and self-determination in America, where we are exiles? Now, if you proclaim this as your homeland, then you got to still make it more comfortable for you and future generations. Does that look like an institution? I think many nonprofits and institutions have been doing that for generations. Marcus Garvey was trying to figure out how do Black, and some of us have just said America's not the way and left and went to Liberia and other places.
Right.
Yeah. So our people have always tried to figure out, what does it mean to live in America as exiles? I think we need to still continue to think about it. For me, it doesn't look like being comfortable. It doesn't look like saying this is the only way, there's no other way. It doesn't look like, hey, there's the lesser of two evils, let's just pick between the two of them. I'm talking about imagination. How do you imagine freedom? Not how do you imagine being at the table? And that's the problem. A lot of our conversation today is about a seat at the table. I don't want no seat at the table, right? Because that's a table that was used to oppress my ancestors. I don't want that table. If anything, I'm trying to figure out who built your house, who owns it, who has the whole community, who has access to the resources. Let's look beyond the table and imagine the very nation that Black people can build.
You have, I love that. I hope you know that I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I don't want you to see it at the table, because at the table that is oppressive. I love it. I'm all in it. I bump the table,
Right.
I'm gonna be like, we're gonna be like Jesus in the temple, tossing the table over.
Right. Put that on a t-shirt. It's gonna be us throwing the table. I don't want your table.
Bump a white chair. I'm throwing the whole damn table. Let me tell you something. All right, let me finish this thing up. Look, man, I'm telling y'all, this is a dope book. It's called A Badge of Freedom. Very quickly, you talked about in your final chapter, I mentioned love as being in your final chapter. It's actually faith. So you've got love, then faith, but it's all the same. But let's talk about seizing our spiritual power. You have two dynamic pieces or parts to this chapter: alchemizing our suffering and then seizing our spiritual power. What does that mean, to alchemize our suffering, and how does that lead to seizing our spiritual power?
First, let me just say that I know some people are going to hear the things that I'm saying, say she crazy, she all out there, she don't know what she's talking about. One thing that I want people to understand is I have organized with people all over this world. I have organized with the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. I have been to Ferguson. I lived on the continent for 3 years, organizing in Lusaka, Zambia, Tunisia. I have traveled the world, to Cuba, wherever you can think of, to learn from my people, to learn from our liberation struggles. I am not pulling stuff out of my head. I have studied. I have looked at the traditions of our ancestors. And let me tell you, our ancestors, the freedom fighters we love today, were largely socialists. You may not want to acknowledge it, you may not want to speak with it, but they were socialists. The Nkrumahs of the world, the Black Panthers, they were socialists. They were building what they called revolutionary intercommunalism. It was not about individualism. So if you want to figure out the heart of what I'm saying, part of what I'm saying is we are too individualistic. And when we talk about a spirituality that is decolonized, we're talking about a Christianity, any faith, that is not rooted in prosperity, that is not rooted in naming it and claiming it, that is not rooted in you gonna have your paradise here and in the afterlife. No, because the real biblical story is a story about suffering. It is about a cross. It is about a crucifixion. And on the other side of that is resurrection, right? So I've studied my theology. And what I know is that Jesus came poor. He came alienated. He came isolated under a Roman Empire. He was executed by the state on a cross next to a criminal. And he left with the promise that I love all oppressed people, that I will bring salvation and paradise to all of you, even if you don't experience it here. So when we talk about alchemizing our suffering, what we're talking about is that oppressed people know suffering in an intimate level. And so we have to repurpose it, turn our pain into our power, not just so that we eat good, our kids eat good, we have our house, our mansion, our nice cars. We all want it. I understand. Many of us want the luxury. But if we're talking about Jesus, we're talking about a God of liberation. We are talking about a community organizer, a revolutionary. And until you understand who Jesus was, what he came to do, what he died for, and salvation, why was salvation even necessary? Because there was evil, because there were systems.
Amen. Amen.
I am a preacher.
Folks,
I'm sorry.
Hey, no, please don't apologize for the passion. Hell, you could be angry for all I care. We need to hear it. No, but this is, I cannot thank you enough. And I thank God for you, sis, because of what he has put on your mind, your heart, and your spirit to share. And we have these conversations. I've talked to a lot of different people, but when I hear brilliance, when I hear passion, when I hear the type of insight that you share, and folks, I'm telling you, she doesn't just share this because we're having this conversation on air. This is who she is. This is how she really sees it. And now that we have a book form, it gives us some context. This is the type of stuff. Let's go back to that two-shot very quickly. This is the type of stuff that is so necessary in this day and time. And again, people don't understand, revolution. And I was reading about this in the Atlantic just a couple of nights ago. And it was saying revolution doesn't happen overnight. It takes time.
Revolution starts in the mind.
It starts in the mind.
Yeah.
It starts in the mind.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about waking Black folks up in this country after all of these years.
Right. Yeah, this is my generational love offering. If you don't know nothing else, you got to know I love Black people. I would do anything for Black people, African people. So I wrote this book because I love you. If you don't read it for any other reason, read it because you want to know that there is a Black woman who loves you, who wants to minister to you, wants to help transform your life and your family, because that's the place it's coming from. It's coming from a place of deep love.
There it is right there. My sister Rahel Tesfamariam. The book is Imagine Freedom, Transforming Pain into Political and Spiritual Power. It drops on Super Tuesday, not just because of the elections, but because a consciousness has now emerged. And this book here is going to be dropping on March the 5th, published by Amistad Books. And we are so excited to see the great things. I know this is just volume 1, because I know God is always working on you.
Yeah. Now, support a sister, pre-order it, because if these books do not do well, they will not give people like us deals. So it's not just about me, it's about the voices and the minds after me. To keep our words and our stories in print, we have to support each other.
There it is right there. My sister Rahel, thank you so much for being with us, and more importantly, thank you for being so good for the culture.
Hey.
Thank you, sis. Talk to you soon. God bless you too. All right, folks, we got to take a quick pause. When we come forward, let's have some other conversations. I know that conversation is just got me excited and fired up. Folks, stay with us. It's The Culture here on the Black Star Network.
If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop us an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity, Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few, drip lit like a spotlight. Just winning, media life spinning, media life spinning.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Happy Juneteenth! Happy Juneteenth! Happy Juneteenth, Miss Gray! Happy Juneteenth!
Welcome to San Francisco Public Library. I'm Naomi Jokes, the Racial Equity Manager for Public Services.
So my name is Hai Chin Chen, so I'm the Program Manager of the Chinese Center.
And we're your MCs this evening. I want to wish everyone a warm, happy Lunar New Year. Go on.
So 下午好，欢迎来到三藩市公立图书馆。我叫陈海清，我是三藩市公立图书馆华裔中心的项目经理。在这里，我祝大家新的一年事业龙腾虎跃，生活龙凤吉祥，身体龍精虎猛，財運龍行萬天下。大家好，歡迎嚟到三藩市公立圖書館。我叫陳海清，我係三藩市公立圖書館華裔中心嘅項目經理。喺度，我祝大家新嘅一年事業龍騰虎躍，生活龍鳳吉祥，身體龍精虎猛，財運龍行天下。多謝大家。
It's great to be here for the second annual Drumbeats, Heartbeats, Communities as One joint celebration of Black History Month and Lunar New Year. A year ago, we came together in recognition of the shared struggle of our African American and Asian American communities against multiple forms of discrimination and racism that combines, overlaps, and intersects to affect our communities. Bringing our African American and Asian American communities together like this goes a long way to changing the narrative that our communities don't mix or can't thrive together. We are here tonight with our wonderful partners to highlight Black excellence and celebrate the culture and heritage of our diverse communities in San Francisco. I want to acknowledge some of our incredible community leaders who are in attendance today. If there are any elected officials or district supervisors, thank you. I see Dr. Carol Ransom Scott in the audience. Thank you for attending, as well as Director of Cultural Affairs at the Arts Commission, Mr. Ralph Remington. Thank you all. I also see Dr. Urania Lopez, one of the San Francisco Public Library Commissioners. Thank you again for attending. Many thanks to Dr. Cheryl Davis, the Director of the Human Rights Commission, as well as Claudine Cheng, Executive Director of the APA Heritage Foundation. Let's give them a hand. Thank you all for your partnership and honoring us with your presence. Every year, the San Francisco Public Library begins our celebration of Black History Month in January with our more than a month programming. And we continue our unapologetic celebration of Black history and culture year-round through the activities of our neighborhood branches and the African American Center here at the main library on the 3rd floor. We have a robust lineup of events in recent weeks to celebrate Lunar New Year, and we'll also be celebrating Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month later again this spring. We continue to be thankful for the mayor's leadership and support. As we're going to keep the program moving pretty quickly this evening. The mayor may come in a little bit later, but I think for now we're going to start the program. Sorry about that, Madam Mayor. Without further ado, the Honorable Mayor London Breed.
All right. How's everybody doing? Come on, let's bring the energy up. We got some great performers today that are here to really celebrate the African American community and our Chinese community here in San Francisco. These are two very important communities, but more importantly, during the month of February, we celebrate Black History Month, we celebrate Lunar New Year, and what I appreciate about this community and how we decided to come together is we wanted to do something together and to really celebrate and uplift one another's culture and to recognize the significance of the contributions of these communities to the vibrancy of San Francisco. Now tonight, you're gonna see some amazing performances. You're gonna experience some incredible song and dance, and we're just really here to support and uplift one another. And I wanna just take this moment to truly appreciate Cheryl Davis of the Human Rights Commission for all the work that she does. And to also recognize Claudine Cheng and the APA Heritage Foundation. I just want to say a tad bit about what actually brought us here. Now, during a global pandemic, we experienced a lot of challenges. It has tested our city and this country like never before. In fact, we saw a lot of real challenges during that time when George Floyd was murdered and so many people came together to fight against a lot of the injustices that continue to persist in the African American community. We created the Dreamkeeper Initiative, a multi-year significant investment to serve and uplift the Black community. And then around the same time, the rise in anti-Asian hate was significant. And what I appreciate about this event and what we're doing here today, we are defining San Francisco differently. We are telling our own story and how we come together when communities are experiencing challenges. People like Claudine Cheng and Dr. Cheryl Davis came up with the idea of this extraordinary celebration. And they reached out to our various department heads, including the head of the Arts Commission, Ralph Remington, as well as Michael Lambert, who's head of the library. And speaking of head of the library, to the library staff and the team and all the folks who are here that continue to create an amazing environment for so many to enjoy in this main library, as well as libraries across the city, thank you all so much for your work. So as a result of this event and so many other great events throughout the city, it's time for us to have some joy. some celebration, some excitement, some things to make us feel good and to smile and feel a lot better about how we're able to come together, because we need to tell our own story of San Francisco, a story of resiliency, a story of togetherness, and a story about how we have taken challenging circumstances and used them to bring people together, to elevate everyone who's a part of this joyous occasion and being here today. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Happy Lunar New Year and Black History Month in San Francisco.
Thank you so much for the mayor for the San Francisco. So I'm so touched what he said. And so let's celebrate the joy and then the holiday together with our community. So the first one, formed in April 2007, Dunaya Dance and Drum Company creates dance and music from Punjab, India, and Guinea, West Africa. So the word Dunia means a word in a wide array of language. Please enjoy.
Hi, everybody. I love this. It's a blessing of being here. You know, we definitely need more of this in this time of life. You know, happy Black History Month. Happy Lunar New Year. Xin Nian Kuai La. We are Dunia Dance and Drum Company. Well, we're just gonna start rocking you up. Are you ready? Okay, repeat after me. Wa wa go. Wa wa go. Siko la iko. Siko la iko. Wa wa go. Siko la iko. Wa wa go. Siko la iko. Wa wa go. Siko la iko. Wa wa siko la iko.
Wow, wow, what a performance. So line dance me will be the next one. Line dance me specializes in line dance music in entertainment. Originally started as a high school club. So, but now since expanded and adding programs in schools all around San Francisco. Let's welcome line dance me. The line dance definitely light up the New Year spirit. So may everyone for the New Year, we have started New Year and have a good luck for the coming year. So now we'd like to invite Mayor come up to take a picture with the Lions and the drummers to celebrate the New Year. Thank you.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder of Taylor J Collection. We are a women's contemporary clothing brand located right here in Oakland, California. The journey of a woman comes with many changes, and that's why we are very intentional about all of our designs and collections. We make sure to provide elevated comfort, sustainability, versatility, and of course, style. If you're in the Bay Area, come by, say hi, and take some comfy pieces home to add to your closet. Shop with us online at taylorjcollection.com.
Tune in weekdays to the Bay Area Mental Health Hour on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. You'll find us covering issues surrounding your everyday coping skills and your mental health and wellness. And remember, your mental health matters as much as your physical health.
If you'd like to be a guest or suggest show ideas, drop us an email or a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. Clarity Media, human stories, grassroots solutions. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. The Bay Area Mental Health Hour, Clarity Conversations, and We the People. Building trust for the first time. Out of chaos comes clarity. Clarity Media.
Rock with a few. Drip lit like a spot. Just winning. Media life spinning.
Performance the Hill Week time is Ivana Carroll. Please give Ivana a warm welcome.
大家好，我叫羅伊娜。我們攀登的山友阿曼達戈爾文，當這一天到來時，我們問自己在這位蒙自己的陰影中，我們到哪裏去尋找光明呢？我們知道安靜並不代表我憑規範和觀念糾正是什麼，這些並不總是正義。我們是一個國家、一個時代的接班人，那裏有一個瘦瘦的黑女仔叫阿曼達戈爾文，她是奴隸後裔，有單身母，親撫養長大夢，想成為總統卻發現他是自己在為總統朗誦。我們還未得到讓競爭太遠非遠次，我們努力建立一個包容所有文化灰色性格我標記的聯盟。我們不再將目光停留在不同的意見，我們目前離合分歧，我們有包未來放在第一位，必須先覺即分歧。即使悲傷，我們也成長；即使很累，我們也嘗試過。我們將永遠團結在一起。聖經告訴我們也這夢未來，每個人都坐在自己的葡萄樹和無花果樹下，沒有人餵養。他會害怕，如果我們不辜負的自己的時間，那麼那就不會再代人下蛋在我們肩中。我思量中那是應許的紅地，那是我們爬的山。只有我們甘心為美國人下不只是我們的驕傲。儘管民眾可能會暫時被吞吃，但它永遠不會被永久擊敗。我們不會回到過去，但將向應有的樣子。我們讓正的國家仁慈和感激烈而自由。我們將讓力量集合起來，加上能力和高智改變下一代的權利。所以，將我們留給下一代的國家比上一代留給我們都更好。我們將統建和解平恢復每一個字的角落都是我們的國家，因為光是永恆的自由，我們有足夠的勇氣去做就好了。Thank you.
Thank you, Ivana. Next, we welcome Dillinger X from Alice Fong Yu Middle School, who will deliver spoken word in Cantonese. Please welcome Dillinger X.
Ừ. 大家好，我叫謝迪倫，身為家人， 美麗的河，人讓我的生活充滿了每樣鄰地的節氣中。我盼望很能構成華人體力是有教的化的一部分。我慶祝客人歷史，因為在對我們來說，不僅僅是一個月，而是每天客人歷史滿了偉大的成就和貢獻，塑造了我們今天所處的世界。你知道高中好子的法王是一位名叫高富的馬根的漢人嗎？是有沒錯的。父母們，我們的家都換盤換人，求知和性，當下反映進人中。作者馬雲，他是一位法學家和發明家，發揚了世地和大道的小白。中人口改變了工作方式，人式變更人口，一切是不僅僅是發夢，害怕動搖搖一批腦洞，我把被適當以勇敢人士從來最逼是最上以我爬登的時期，我正以我平等分處，他們為一人撒開ทั้生一切，反對階級的暴行，幫扶人們重複權人的權利，他們的委同繼續激着們。身為黑人也已默在力量裏，因為即使我們面臨歧視和力，我們他合了而成一體。我們在從內測，我們花多分合和總是即交有領域到了。現在是韓將 Dr. King, Malcolm X, Beyonce Knowles 和 Rihanna 等無數出現的人這首詩添擊了將我在人的臉，讓有孩子的人。多謝。
Let's give a round of applause for our two young San Francisco poets, Irana and Delinger. I was in the back seat to know that how nervous they are, but they did a great job. So that's what we San Francisco youth people we should be. Congratulations for today's show. I'm so proud of you, both of you, Ivana and Dillinger. Mark's original composition draw from classical, jazz, blue, EDM, and Middle Eastern roots. This evening, he joined us in a celebration, and we are excited to hear his joyful, heartfelt playing. Please give a big round of applause for Kippy Marks.
Hello, everyone. Happy Lunar New Year! Yes, it's a wonderful time. You know, I'd really like to thank everyone for allowing me and the city of San Francisco and all of you wonderful people for allowing me to come in and share the gift of music with all of you. Can I have some audience participation and ask you all to repeat after me? Practice makes love easy. Practice makes love easy. Each of you are the music that's in everyone's lives. And we appreciate you, each other, in love and light and truth. I'm going to do a nice little song for you called Yesterday's Tomorrow, mixed in with the African National Anthem. Are you ready? Okay, let's have some fun and go on a little journey. You ready to go on a journey with me? Practice makes love easy. Practice makes love easy. One more time. Practice makes love easy. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all. Have a wonderful, happy new year. And may all your dreams come true.
Thank you so much for keeping Mars, giving us such music journey with love, filled with happiness and for the love of their life. Happy New Year. So we are now very happy to introduce performance whose music has touched the world stage and crossed so many musical and cultural boundaries. CDX, a South Asian American Sikh hip hop artist from California, has put his music to work in the LA County Juvenile Detention System and USD. Emotional and cultural bonds with the youth within the juvenile halls while facilitating songwriting and beat production workshops that allow students to reflect on their emotional and spiritual process. He brings his powerful mix of style to us this evening in our space of community and celebration. Give it up for CDX.
Check, check, mic check, 1, 2. San Francisco, how we feeling out there? Okay. I see some beautiful faces out there, but that volume level is real low. Let's try that again. San Francisco, how we feeling? All right. My name is CDX, Sounds of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and it is my pleasure to be here with you today celebrating Lunar New Year and Black History Month. Give it up for Lunar New Year and Black History Month celebrated today right here in the beautiful city of the 415, San Francisco. I got the legendary Beats Me in the 1s and 2s. Give it up for Beats Me on the 1s and 2s, y'all. Yes, sir. So in addition to being a full-time hip-hop artist, I'm also a full-time music production and technology teacher in San Francisco Unified School District. I teach at June Jordan School for Equity. Shout out to June Jordan and all the teachers, educators, para-educators, school staff. Shout out to SFUSD holding it down amidst the all the craziness that we're experiencing. And so it's such a pleasure to be here with you today to build these cultural bonds, because that's what we do every day in the classroom, right? It's through music, we build cultural bonds and we heal from the collective trauma that we have experienced as a society, as well as individual trauma, right? So music is healing. What is that? Music is healing. Music is healing. All right, so we're gonna be doing some call and response honoring hip hop culture. We just celebrated 50 years of hip hop culture, and this year we're celebrating 50 years. Give it up for hip hop culture, that's right. Now, can anybody tell me the five elements of hip-hop culture? Can you just go ahead and shout it out? Graffiti, MCing, B-boy and B-girl, and breakdancing. So we got graffiti, we got MCing, we got breakdancing, DJing, and what's that fifth element? Clothes, battle, dance. As laid down by the forefathers of this culture, what's that fifth element? It starts with the mind. That's right, it's knowledge. You must know the ledge, right? And so without knowledge, there is no hip hop culture. So we're here to build that consciousness and raise that vibration. Is that cool with y'all? So when we say hip, y'all say hop. This is hip. Hip. Come on, y'all. When we say hip, y'all say hop. This is hip. Hip. All right, DJ Beats Me. Let's go ahead and kick it off. Let's turn that beat up all the way in the monitors. Yeah. Let's turn that beat up in the monitors. We don't hear nothing in the monitors. Let's get some more instrumental. Let's get some more. And then on the house too. How's that sound? Can y'all hear that? Yeah. How's that beat sound? Should we turn it up or is it good? Okay, turn it up a little bit. Let's turn it up. All right, pull up, selector. Pull up. We say hip, y'all say hip. This is hip. Hip. All right, let's get into it. Mic check 1, 2. CDX. Yeah. Been better. Every day a vendetta. For some reason, I'm still in the chase for some cheddar. Money got me driven to the pavement, and honey got my heartbeat racing. Everything you face is not adjacent. Move like I'm using the matrix, changing. Can't seem to find the ground. My high is too loud, you can't turn it down. Burn a pound, just the village. medicated ganja, California living. Wisdom is a testament to experiences. Let's wordplay as you experience this. Yes.
Can't look back, can't turn around, can't find
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah. Hey, yo, never turn around when you're back to the wall. This is Babylon, everything must fall. I bring fire to the forest of exclusion. All my people need to eat, this is a movement. I separate the real from the fake and elevate the cause of our youth because they future at stake. Make no mistake, I spotted Jake and burn him out. We ain't dealing with no culture vulture type of crowd. Indigenous warriors always hold me down. The soul of Mother Earth creates a sacred sound. I close my eyes and visualize how planetary energy circles back around. Can't look back, can't turn around. Yeah, yeah, can't find the ground. Yeah, and when I say power to the y'all say people, power to the, when I say power to the y'all say people, power to the, when I say power to the y'all say people, power to the, San Francisco, if you in the house tonight, make some noise. All right. We looking good out there, but we looking a little too comfortable in our seats. So let's hold on that track. For those of you who are able and willing, please stand up. Please stand up. For those of you who are willing and able, please stand up. Because in hip hop, hip is to know, hop is the movement, right? So this is a movement of knowledge. So we got to move that blood, all right? We got to move that body. We got to move that spirit. And we got to move the culture forward. Right? Hip hop is not about denigrating women. Hip hop is not about degrading our communities. Hip hop is not about maintaining ourselves in an oppressed state. Hip hop is not what the radio and television tell us. Hip hop is a movement that came from the South Bronx, New York, inspired by Jamaica, right? It's about the one and the two. It's about the heartbeat, right? We talk about drum beats and heartbeats. Hip hop is based on the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And we all connected through hip hop culture, whether we like it or not. Hip hop is the unifying force in the modern day society that we live in all around the world, from India to China to Korea to Africa, right back here in the USA, right? Hip hop is that unifying force. So when I say hip, y'all say hop. This is hip, hip. All right, so in hip hop culture, we always throw our hands up. We bounce with the beat, right? So if you feel like bouncing with the beat, vibing with us, feel free. We also do this thing called freestyle, where we go off the top of the dome. So we might even kick a little freestyle. I got beats me on the ones and twos. Let's go ahead and start off with the written, and then we'll get into it. Here we go. Hands up, come on. Yeah, now bounce, yup. Hands up. We can be loud in the library today, y'all. Check it out, yo. My life is the heaviest shoulders, shoveling pressure and pain till I reach steady composure. My composition is my intuition, me and Jah, breaking bread and service in my physical temple of God. I know what I saw, flesh, blood in the raw, fresh, stuck with the cause, left them puzzled and paused, no muzzle for the guard. Open door policy, mega bus to Oakland, rolling up that high grade, obviously the type that kill your cancer. That 1, 2, manifest your answers. Ancestors impressed say you did a lot with Babylon. This world was made to destroy. You survive with your tactics strong. But they don't know my back is gone. My eyes so weak, my brain is a rap catalog. My hearing kind of fuzzy, done too many shows. My people's asking when's the next one, tell them I don't know. I travel around the planet while my lady paints. That's called patience and grace. I give thanks. Explore the hidden portals of this universe at hand and question everything that built us into modern man. So when I say hip, y'all say hop. This is hip. Come on, hip. Yo, when I say hip, y'all say hop. This is hip. Hip. Yo, when we say power to the, y'all say people. Power to the. When we say power to the, y'all say people. Power to the, yeah. Freestyle off the top of the dome. Lunar New Year, Black History Month, I'm feeling home. San Francisco Public Library in the chorus. No need to force it. When I come through, don't abort it. I got beats me on the ones, twos we about to scratch. Real DJs, can't see it where they at. But, oh, he's right there. That's my man. Shout out to Gunna Goes Global. That's the fam. Yo, DJ, what you got? My man is scratching, what's the reaction? Then everybody in the crowd, hands up with some passion, Yo, to Dewana in the back. That's my homegirl. Used to teach at June Jordan. Got my back. Hey, yo. And to my people in the front, I say you bouncing with me. We got to show them where we from. From the town to Frisco, we keep it crazy. If you with me, throw your hands up. Don't be lazy. Yeah, and we always about the action. Shout out to Bruce Lee, born in Frisco, Little Dragon. Yeah, you see me up in Chinatown, gotta hold it down, bringing a brand new sound. And the brother with the turban, yo, he's all up in the urban environment, spitting freestyles. No, I cannot silence it. Off the top of the dome, shout out to the public library, gave me a few books to take home. Yo, Frisco, sick MC who just came out of the blue, straight out of the Oakland Zoo. I said, Frisco MC that came out of the blue, born in 1988, so you know I am a dragon too. Yes, you know what it is. It's the Dragon year, 2024, Dragon Biz. Say hip hop. Say year of the dragon. Say hip hop. Say year of the dragon. San Francisco, make some noise! All right. I got one more joint for y'all. But before we do this last song, I just got to give a big shout out to the Chinese Historical Society of America. We put together this documentary. Shout out to the African American Culture Complex, right there in the Fillmore, African American Arts and Culture Complex. Shout out to Melanie and Melora for bringing us out. Shout out to Justin Hoover. If you go check out that exhibit at the Chinese Historical Society on Bruce Lee, the Little Dragon, please check out that exhibit if you haven't. We have a documentary in the downstairs. It's called Rhythm of the Dragon. It's all about Bruce Lee's influence on Bay Area hip hop culture. And I was able to build with some elders of all ethnicities, from African American to Asian. And basically what they was breaking down is that when Bruce Lee's movies came out and hit these cinemas on Market Street, all of the dancers of hip hop culture would go to these movies and be inspired by the moves that Bruce Lee was doing, and be inspired by his ethos and his culture and everything that he brought to the cinema and to the stage. So also standing up for the voiceless and making sure that he represented for the minority who was being oppressed at that time. You know what I'm saying? Himself even being mixed and even dealing with all that he had to deal with. And so we honor Bruce Lee always in hip hop culture, right? We honor him in hip hop culture, and we honor the connection between Asian Americans and African Americans and all those influenced by hip hop culture, including myself, right? I'm proud of that. So we have to honor that culture. And by honoring that culture, we have to tap in with those communities. So I encourage you to tap in with those communities that you live around, right? Tap in the communities that you may be afraid to go to or may not have visited yet, right? Tap in with those communities that do not look like you or feel like you, right? Because as you can see, we tapped in right here, right now. And this is the energy that we're gonna need for the year of the dragon. Y'all with me? All right. If y'all with me one more time, say hip hop. Say don't stop. Say beats me. All right, beats me. Let's give them that last track. This is called Strange World. So I want y'all to sing along with me when the hook comes. What a strange world we living in. All right, we're gonna try it. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah. What a strange world we living in. One more time. What a strange world we living in. Yeah. What a strange world we living in. You'll catch the rhythm. Here we go. It's a strange world right now, y'all. Let's turn that beat up. Warfare where nobody can sleep. War profiteering, Dakota access pipeline. Born on indigenous land, respected through my lifetime. The right minds will advocate, that's a state of ignorance. Blasted with the infinite divinity, what's silly is the state of affairs, being avoided by most. Trapped in our iPhones, making a toast to the death of the consciousness. It's obvious our world is too strange, so you blindly follow the TV's guided tips. Science has proven that God doesn't exist, while God bodies drop supreme science in the mist. Someone's lying to the sick and starving the poor. Enough food to feed the planet, but our ego eats more. Y'all ready? Here we go. Yup, you got it now. San Francisco, last track. Here we go. What a strange world where people rock around with the Apple Vision Pros. Oh my gosh. We losing people to virtual reality. Here we go. Strange world controlled by an economist who thinks that his man-made plot against nature will conquer it. Isn't it so obvious? Nature has the upper hand. Years of experience with species smaller than man. What am I to do up in this jungle? Concrete sickness, smog thickness, and rubble. Hired by employers so we continue to hustle. For the dream of a day we ain't robbed, stuck in struggle. Fireflies to escalate, elevate the mental health for everyone experiencing hip-hop, including myself. Oil drill, oil spill. 2 letters change the fate of indigenous mothers and brothers across every state. This is a highly unimpressive attempt to make a buck. You messing up, taking advantage of every one of us. My life is not dictated by a barcode. The visions of a saint written in bars that we've been saying. Come on. Yeah. And what a strange world we living in. Last time, here we go. San Francisco. Yes. Speed, set to X. Let me hear y'all one time. Last one. Yeah. And what a strange world we living in. Where all these people walking around and tripping in. Virtual reality and systems in. While I'm sitting in the mission. When we say hip, y'all say hop. This is hip. Hip. When we say don't, y'all say stop. Now don't. San Francisco, if you're in the building, make some noise! Give it up for the one and only. Without the DJ, there is no hip-hop culture. DJ beats me. My name is SETI X. That's S-E-T-I-X, Sounds of Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And just so y'all know, this is going to be my only show for the first half of 2024. We keeping it exclusive, and we'll be back right here on these streets, collaborating with Into the Streets and the San Francisco City Government Department and all of them, the Office of Mayor London Breed for Bungra and Beats. So I don't know if any of y'all were here last year when we had the street party, where we shut down the streets and we did Bungra and Beats. So look out for that. I'll be back on the stage later this year. But it has been a pleasure to rock with you right here in the auditorium. How often can you say, I went to the auditorium and we tore the house down? Come on, make some noise!
Being here today. I see so many amazing community leaders in the audience. Claudine, Dr. Davis, thank you so much for your partnership. This is the second annual, and it just keeps getting better and better every year. Thank you so much. And yes, I want to give a shout out to our amazing staff here at the library. Marciel, Media Services, Thank you so much, Team Library. Thank you, Human Rights Commission as well.
Thank you. How are we all doing? Yay, good. I'm glad we're in such a good mood. So the reception will wait for all of us in the next couple minutes. But what amazing immersion students. I mean, they really exemplify the spirit of what we are trying to do here. And it was the first time I heard our two students, Ivana and Dillinger X. It's amazing. We actually have certificates of excellence for you. Ivana and Dillinger X, would you come up to the stage, please? And today we have a very special guest. It's a long title. The Chief Deputy Superintendent of Public Instructions of the State of California, Mary Nicely, is here. Mary, please join us. Mary is presenting to our two students certificates from Tony Thurmond, our State Superintendent of Public Instructions. Mary.
So Dillinger, next. This is for you, the State Superintendent, and this is for using your talents to promote awareness and appreciation of diverse cultures in the city and county of San Francisco. Thank you for your inspirational performance at the Drumbeats, Heartbeats Community Festival 2020.
And we also have two certificates from Mayor London Breed, and Director Davis will help present them. Let's see which one is which one. Oh, yeah. Let's take a picture.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. How's that, Frank? Open.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Washington Community Health Center and both sides of the conversation and Japantown Community Benefit District. Thank you for serving on the planning committee. And we want to thank our sponsors, the Human Rights Commission, the Friends of the Library, and the APA Heritage Foundation. Appreciate you supporting this event. We also get all you here because we have community partners to help spread the word. And the community partners are also here, the API Council, Value Culture, the San Francisco Association of Realtors, the Filipino American Arts Exposition, and Next Village SF. Thank you so much for being our community partners. Thank you. And I noted that when we were making introductions in the beginning, I think we missed a few commissioners, so I want to make sure to acknowledge them. Entertainment Commissioner Al Perez. I know we introduced Library Commissioner Lopez, we introduced before. Human Rights Commissioner Irene E. Riley. MTA Commissioner Lydia So. And Jason Johnson, Human Rights Commissioner. Thank you for being here. Hi. Dr. Scott, we already introduced. And Deputy Sheriff Chief of Staff, Richard Ju. Thank you. And our Director of Culture is always here. Thank you so much, Ralph. Yay. This is all about culture, right? So, Director Davis.
Claudine already did the heavy lifting and thanked everyone, so give Claudine another round of applause.
But seriously, so there is food in the room that I'm like Latinx. I'm always like, I want to get it right. I just put together. I was like, Carol. I just realized, Samantha, the connection. So congratulations. Um, I just want to thank you all so much for being here. I think we take so much for granted, and so often people talk about how amazing San Francisco is or how liberal we are, but we know that it really is a challenge sometimes to bring communities and cultures together and to celebrate. And I just appreciate you all being here tonight. I want to thank Claudine and Michael Lambert for really being willing to be partners to engage and build this out over the last few years. So thank you again for that partnership. And I want to give a special shout out, and I don't know if he's still in the room, to John McKnight from the Human Rights Commission. Want to recognize and thank John because we started this and we didn't necessarily have someone in position to help keep it going. And John has been an amazing team lead, making sure the meetings happen and that there's follow up and follow through. So I want to publicly thank John as well as the HRC team. I know Jessica and Danielle are in the back serving food. So, I will end with, and a lot of folks have heard me do this poem before. I will end with one of my favorite poems by a woman by the name of Eloise Greenfield, because I always end with this because I think we need to always think about what is our legacy? How are we remembered? What are we leaving behind? And so I think that this is the beginning of an amazing legacy that says this is about there is no one person that sings a certain song. There is no one thing that belongs to any culture, that we are all connected and united. And so the poem says, went to the corner, walked to the store, bought me some candy, ain't got it no more, ain't got it no more. Went to the kitchen, laid on the floor, wrote me a poem, still got it, still got it. So let's think about what are the things that can last longer than us? What are the things that we can sow into each other? What are the ways that we can celebrate how different we are, but how alike we are? So thank you all so much for being here tonight to build one community and to celebrate all of our cultures. Thank you. So they said, please go next door because otherwise a lot of people are going to have leftovers tomorrow that they don't want to eat. So.
So I will announce the performance at the correct officially end, but the celebration is not end.
Today's live stream is being brought to you by Clarity Media. Support the San Francisco Dreamkeeper Initiative, recognizing and investing in the diverse Black and African American communities of San Francisco with a wide range of programs to support youth, families, seniors, and members of the Black LGBTQ+ communities. Dreamkeeper San Francisco is fostering hope for generations of Black people to feel free to dream boldly. Visit dreamkeepersf.org today.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder of Taylor J Collection. We are a women's contemporary clothing brand located right here in Oakland, California. The journey of a woman comes with many changes, and that's why we are very intentional about all of our designs and collections. We make sure to provide elevated comfort, sustainability, versatility, and of course, style. If you're in the Bay Area, come by, say hi, and take some comfy pieces home to add to your closet. Shop with us online at taylorjcollection.com.
BlackFacts.com presents Educational Series Black Lives Matter. In 2012, an innocent young man called Trayvon Martin was killed with a shot. His murderer was acquitted. Then, 3 women birthed the Black Lives Matter as a social movement. Their mission is to eradicate white supremacy. In 2020, the movement took worldwide importance after the brutal murder of George Floyd. George Floyd was killed during an arrest by a police officer. Black Lives Matter originally used various social media platforms to reach thousands of people rapidly. Since then, Black Lives Matter has embraced a diversity of tactics. Black Lives Matter was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in January 2021. The nomination was submitted by Norwegian activist and Member of Parliament Petter Eide. Learn Black history, teach Black history at blackfacts.com.
Tune in weekdays to the Bay Area Mental Health Hour on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. You'll find us covering issues surrounding your everyday coping skills and your mental health and wellness. And remember, your mental health matters as much as your physical health.
Let's go! Let's go! Miggity, look, I said, mama, hello, that thing moving like jello. Now I'm getting gushy on my stick, Donatello. How you so classy, but grew up in the ghetto. She was struggling, but now she on another level. When she gig and she get low. I had a couple, you feel me, from Fillmore. Met a rack in Mendocino. Yeah, got a rich chick from Richmond, you already know. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. I got a couple, you feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me, I feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me. Yeah, yeah, I got a couple, you feel me, I feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me. I see God all over you. My eyes closed, but you're beautiful. I see God all over you. My eyes closed, but look, mama, hello, that thing moving like jello. She loved my words a cappella. She said she loved my vibe when I'm mellow. Oh, mama, you go. It was a party at Parliament. Yeah, you was dancing with all your friends. You gave me that look. Yeah. You said I wasn't shook. No, I know you from the Bay cause you bold and sassy. Yeah, but you still keep it classy. I know you from the Bay cause you bold and sassy, but you still keep it classy. Look, I said, mama, hello, the thing moving like jello. Now I'm getting gushy on my stick, Donatello. How you so classy, but grew up in the ghetto. She was struggling, but now she on another level. When she gig and she get low. I had a couple, you feel me, from Fillmore. Met a rack in Mendocino. Yeah, got a rich chick from Richmond, you already know. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. I got a couple, you feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me, that feel me. Yeah, I got a couple, you feel me. I see God all over you. My eyes closed, but you're beautiful. I see God all over you. My eyes closed, but look, mama, hello, that thing moving like jello. The two-sided store right there.
Show your support for Black-owned media with a tax-deductible contribution today. And don't forget to visit Clarity Media's Tech and Swag store for gear and supplies. Thank you.
The cultural tour, we partnered with Black-owned businesses. We also partnered with a few of our organizations that we work with the Social Justice Committee, who, that's how we were able to, reach the youth here. And I think today is really awesome because we get to show you, people who look like them, what is possible. We have Black business owners here, and a lot of times kids growing up in these neighborhoods don't see positive examples of people who are successful and that look like them. You know, there's not that many Black-owned businesses, and so youth seeing that and seeing the success, you know, can spark their interest and also give them hope of what, you know, reality can look like for them in the future.
So the 49ers and the York family, they made an emphasis from the time I came in to really invest in the community in the Bay Area for Black and Brown communities and those are other marginalized people. And we came up with a social justice committee, and through that we have a voice in kind of where the money goes, where our time and resources at the organization has made a huge emphasis, and that brings about events like today. So excited to be here, to be a part of this. It's been a long time in the making, and we're seeing real change, real impact that goes beyond just playing ball in the field. So excited to be here.